You are now tuned in to Hot Topics with Donna. And on this show, we do one thing: keep it real hot. That's honest, open, and transparent. If you didn't know, now you know. So sit back and unwind as we bring the vibe and a little bit of glorious sunshine to your heart, soul, and mind. Your lovely host, Hot Donna, will be with you in just a few moments. But while you wait, go ahead and set an atmosphere of peace in your space. If you can, cut the lights down low, get your hydration on, vibrations on. Cause tonight, you're about to receive some delicious food for your soul. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? It's about to get hot. You are indeed in the one and only place to be this evening. We appreciate you for joining us, and in just a few moments, we about to turn the heat all the way up. That's right. It's about to go down right now on Hot Topics with Donna. Show your virtual love by smashing that thumbs up and heart icon as many times as you can. And without further ado, I have the distinct pleasure of introducing your host, the one and only Hot Donna.
Hello, everybody. Hey, Amanda. Hey, Kenny. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Hot Topics with Donna, where I am your host, Donna Taylor. So tonight it's going to be something that has been on my heart to talk to you about. Hey, Sharon, and I'm not going to be on here long. God gave it to me yesterday, and I'm going to give it to you guys today. But the word that I'm going to choose is love. That's the word I'm choosing today. And it says, know therefore that the Lord your God is good. Know therefore that the Lord your God is God. He is the faithful God, keeping his covenant of love to 1,000 generations of those who love him and keep his commandments. And that came from Deuteronomy 7 and 9. And I'm going to read this to you as well. It says, though we may find this hard to believe, rejection is never the case with the Lord's love. It is unconditional. There is nothing you can do to make him turn away from you. He designed you before you were ever a wisp of your mother's imagination. You are one of his chosen people, and he is faithful to those he loves. And that's the word that I chose tonight. And we're going to talk about briefly, I'm not going to be on here long, but I hope you guys have been following me, and I hope you guys have seen the lineup that we have for the month of February. This month of February, we're going to talk about love, faith, redemption. We're just going to dialogue with a lot of different people all over the United States. Some I know, some I don't know, and that's the beauty of it. And here on Hot Topics with Donna, we interview ordinary people doing extraordinary things in their lives and in their communities. And one thing this platform is about is letting people see that we don't always have it together. It doesn't matter what we may do, our profession, where we live, what we drive, how we dress. It's all about God's love, God's redemption, and transforming us from just being in sin. And so I'm going to be talking about infirmities, and I'm going to read what I wrote. It says, sometimes our troubles and infirmities become such a part of our lives and identity that we have difficulties letting them go and allowing God to handle them. Have you ever been holding on to a painful experience or problem? You must choose to let it go. God offers you his healing, so there are no excuses. You must decide what is more important to you. And that should be getting better. That should mean getting better. And sometimes we find ourselves reliving past hurts, whether it's from a breakup or a divorce or broken friendships, broken relationships. And we want to stay there. We want to stay there because it's comfortable, because it's easy for us to stay in that state. Because once we decide to give it to him, that means you're choosing to allow him to work in your infirmities, no matter what they are. No matter what they are. And I'm going to give you the definition. It said, what does infirmities mean in the Bible? It's a condition of being feeble, disease, personal failing. And that is okay. We have to realize that this life that we're in, we're going to fail. We're going to have infirmities. But the thing of it is, are you going to stay there? Are you going to continue to stay stuck? That's the question that I propose to you. Are you going to stay stuck in your infirmities? No matter what it is. It could be from 10, 15, 20 years ago. And some people are still stuck on, they did me wrong. I failed at this. I didn't get that job. I wasn't qualified for this house. But will you decide today that you're going to give all of your infirmities, not just the ones that you think you can handle? Because God loves us enough that he can take all of our mess and turn it around. But we have to decide to give it to him. And it says, when we are at our weakest, God is strongest. So when we are in a state of being weak and we don't have any idea how we're going to get out of this, we must realize that when we are weak, he is strong. And he says, for when I am weak, then I am strong. Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them, for it's the Lord your God who goes with you. So, hey, Gina. Hey, Tish, thank you for joining. So it clearly tells us that when we are at our weakest, when we feel like we just don't have the get up and go, the gas to just get to point A to point B, he's saying he got us. He got you. Because he said he is strong when we're weak. And sometimes we always try to figure it out on our own. And then we bump our heads 1,001 times, 1,002 times until we finally get it and say, why am I trying to fight this battle that is not mine? I need to turn this over to him and say, Lord, I cannot fight this battle any longer. And because he loves us just that much, he's saying, thank you, my child. I was waiting on you to be tired of being sick and tired, and I can handle this for you. And what we must remember is sometimes when we're in a battle or we're in our trials and tribulations or whatever, that's when he steps in and help us right in the midst of it. But a lot of us, including myself, sometimes I want out like yesterday. But sometimes it's in the building. It's in the process when God is doing a thing in our lives that he say, I got you. You just need to trust me. Trust the process with me. Trust the plan. Trust the plan. Because everything that we've been through or going through or will go through, he already knows. But the issue is, will we trust him to go through whatever it is? Because it may not always be nice. It's not going to always feel good. Because the last 2 years have really shown me that even in death, I had to continue to trust him with all of my infirmities that I had that I didn't want to let go. But even in going through this transition of my life with my late husband passing, I learned how to truly, truly give every single thing to him. Even the smallest thing of a mustard seed. I learned to give it to him, because if I couldn't get it from other people, I would be so disappointed. But even through the death, I had to say, Lord, I give you everything. I give you body, mind, and soul, because if I had not, you guys wouldn't be seeing this Donna. And it's just by his grace and mercy, not because I'm all that in a bag of chips. It's because of his grace and mercy. And he kept me. Even during the death, even during the sickness, he kept me. And I had to learn to trust him no matter what it looked like. Even when I was weak. Because I just told you, he said when we're weak, he is strong. He is showing you his biceps and triceps and saying, hey, I got this fight for you. I got this battle. Just give it to me. You can't handle it. But we want to give him the little things that we think we can handle. But he can handle all things, big or small. Big or small, he can handle it. But we have to get out of his way. We have to get out of his way to let him be who he is. And that's God, and God all by himself. He doesn't need Donna. He doesn't need Gina. He doesn't need Sharon. He don't need our help. He can do this. He got this. He knows us inside out. He knows every little secret, every little unforgiveness, every little backbiting we do. He knows all of that stuff. He knows it all. And so when I was talking about the infirmities, we want to just say, oh, well, poor, pitiful me. Because sometimes we can say that. We can say that. But what has it prospered you to do that? Because when we have infirmities, it affects how we handle people. It affects our trust issues. It affects every part of us when we're trying to communicate with other people. And it even affects how we look at ourselves. It affects every part of our being. So if you have old infirmities from yesterday, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, decide today to let that go so you can heal, so you can be at a place where you can love, have joy, have peace, and understand what he's trying to do in your lives. And then it says, the trials and tests we encounter. There are 8 types of tests that every Christian, it says, will likely face. The first one is fiery trials, and that is intense encounters or struggles, bursts of anger, grief, or lust. So it's 8, and you may not face all 8. You may only have 2. You may have 1. The second one is infirmities, physical limitation, and illness. And I tell people all the time, even though my late husband had his own infirmities, He physically had it, but I had it too because it emotionally and physically took a toll on me, where I had to make sure I was able to handle the process as he was going through his latter days. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't have been able to be there, to be a rock for him, to be supportive of him. And I tell you guys all the time, hey, did I have breakdowns? Absolutely. But I made sure when I had those meltdowns that I was able to say, okay, Lord, I need you. You have to help me, because today I'm just unsure. Today I don't know. I don't know if I have the strength to continue to do this. I don't know if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing to strengthen him, to give him hope. Because when you have someone that's physically ill with their infirmities, and you have a spouse or a significant other or a loved one, if you will, you have to make sure that you're in tune with your own infirmities. You have to be in tune with, okay, where am I standing? Where am I? Where am I? Because that makes a difference. And then the third one is reproaches. It says ridicule and rejections on account of faith or holiness. So you might have this one, because people are not going to always see you the way you see you. They're not going to always value you how you value you. But when we don't face our infirmities, we may not see ourselves as worthy. We may not see ourselves as approachable, or people wanting to love us. And then the fourth one is, hey, Mr. Anthony, then the fourth one is persecution, harassment, and oppression due to religious conviction. So we have to remember that. Some people may persecute us by what we choose to believe. What we choose to believe. It might, we might get cussed out because we believe one thing or another. But there again, if you face your infirmities, your shortcomings, then you'll be okay with that when it comes. And then the fifth one is necessities, wear and care of daily responsibility. And we all know that this is a big one, because we have daily responsibilities. And like I said, when you are faced with different challenges, for me, my biggest challenge was losing my spouse of 30 years. But I had to learn how to say, okay, however it is, whatever the outcome is, I had to still trust him to give me strength, even with my daily responsibility as being a Christian first, being a wife, being a mother. Because when you are consumed and you know that the end is coming, if you're losing a spouse or whatever, or whomever, you have to be mentally prepared, because the everyday stuff can get us bogged down. It can truly bog us down, and we can get so caught up that sometimes we can even lose a sense of ourselves. We can lose a sense of who we are, a sense of our purpose, because we want to make sure everything around us is okay. And then the seventh thing of trials and tests that we as Christians may face is tribulation, unusual pressure and challenges. Unusual pressure and challenges. And then the eighth thing is temptation, opportunities to yield to our sinful nature. So those were 8 things that I found that says the trials and tests we encounter. It was 8 types that Christians will likely face. Like I said, you may not face all of those. You may not face all those. But even if you do, you must know that the God we serve can do whatever he wants to do, but we have to release it to him. Why do we continue to hold on to stuff when we can easily say, here, Father, I can't do this anymore. I've tried. I've been guilty of it. I've tried to fix things that I think, oh, well, you know what, God, I got this. I can handle this. But sometimes it's just in those small things that we get caught up, and then it gets too big that we can't handle it. And then when it gets too big, hey sis, we get too big. Hey, Miss Sandra, and hey, G Brown, it gets too big that we can't handle. And then now we want to say, here you go. I can't handle it, Lord. Father, help me. And he's sitting back saying, well, my child, I told you, I got you. But he's going to wait and be patient until we say, well, I've had enough. This is too much for me to handle. But the funny thing about it is we want to give him what we want to give him. When he say give him everything. Everything. And it reminds me when they say you should have faith the size of a mustard seed. And that's small. So if he's saying give him for us to have faith the size of a mustard seed, who are we to keep our problems or our life challenges, if you will, to ourselves? We have to trust him at all costs. No matter what, we must trust him. And then there are 5 things in responding and enduring the tests and trials through God's grace. The first one is to give thanks. And it says, sometimes being thankful in a different situation is the most difficult thing we can do. And that is so true. It's so true because he said in everything you must give thanks. And that's from 1 Thessalonians 5:18. And for me, even when my late husband was passing away, I still was able to give thanks and I was still able to rejoice because I knew my late husband expected end. And he was so ready for that expected end. But even during the process of me watching him slowly slip away, I knew that my Father had me. He had my mind, he had my body, he had my soul. I knew he kept me. Because if he didn't, I would not be where I'm at today. And it's only because his grace and mercy and because I allowed myself to trust him enough and say, Lord, people may walk away from me. But one thing I know, you will not walk away from me as long as I'm staying connected to you. Was it easy? No, I'm not sitting here and telling you that it was easy. It was hard. It was hard when you know that death will be knocking at your loved one's door. But at the time that is going on, you will find the strength and the courage in him if you stay connected to him. Because at the end of the day, people will come and go. They will come and go and say, yes, I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. And when it's all said and done, and you look around and the room is empty. The room is empty. But you still have to give thanks. Even when the room is empty, when people walk out on you. And sometimes people walk out on you when you need them the most. But one thing I can tell you, when people have walked out on me, I can still stand strong and say, you know what? You may have walked out. You may have gotten tired. You may have just said, well, you know what? Seem like she's doing good. Seem like she's doing okay. But one thing I can tell you, during my late husband's death, God never walked out on me. Hasn't to this day. And I won't walk out on him. And so for that, I am thankful every day that he loves me just that much. that I can still say, Lord, if it's just me and you, I'ma still give thanks. Even in losing my spouse, I'ma still give thanks. Does it hurt? Absolutely. But I'ma still give thanks. Do I miss him? Absolutely. But I'ma still give thanks. I'ma still give you the praise because I know that you have me and you're keeping me. And then the second thing, it says, we must rejoice. Rejoice. Along with giving thanks, we must rejoice. And people may say, well, how do you rejoice when you lost a spouse or you lost whatever you had? Because when you stay connected to him, Christ, not stuff. When you stay connected to him, you can rejoice because you already know if you lost it, he is going to replace things. He'll replace your joy. He'll replace your obedience. He will give you peace, love. He will give you all those things if we rejoice in him. You have to rejoice sometimes when you don't even feel like rejoicing. Hey, Karina. Hey, Sissy. You have to rejoice even when you just don't have the strength to rejoice. And there were days after losing my late husband, I didn't want to rejoice. But he kept me. He kept my mind. He kept me in a place of peace. Even when I didn't understand, he will keep you. It doesn't matter what you go through. He will keep you. And it said tests and trials will give us the opportunity to get to know him even the more. And I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you, in my husband's last year before leaving here, I had to learn to trust my father with everything that I was. Everything that I was. Because I knew if I didn't, that Donna would probably have a nervous breakdown. Or I would probably be somewhere medicated, trying to just get through the day. Just trying to get through the day. But it gave me the opportunity to get closer to him, to build a more intimate relationship with him. Because remember, I said, people will fail you. They will leave you. But he won't leave you. He will not leave you. And that's why I am thankful. I'm grateful. And that's why I am rejoicing, because I know the Father that I serve has kept me for such a time as this. Is it painful? Of course it is. You've been with someone for 30 years, 5 years, 2 years. Karina, you're right. He would never fail us. Never. And then it says we should try to discern the positive benefits that come about through every situation that we go through. And when we can do that, then you know what? Hey, you tried it, but it didn't work. It didn't work. And see, we have to know, and we have to be in tune with our Father. And when we are in tune with him, our discernment will kick in. It will be so keen, and you won't even have to be like, what is this? What is this? He will automatically tell you, hey, don't go there. Don't do that. Don't say that. Stay focused. And sometimes he will separate you to get you where he needs you to be. And I had to be separated because I've lost a lot since my late husband passed away. I lost a lot. But the beauty of it is, even in the midst of me losing stuff, I never lost my faith, because I knew that the God that I serve, if I lost it, he's going to replace it. But I had to sit still and trust him with every ounce of who I am. People may look at me coming on live week after week, not knowing the heartbreaks, the despair, not knowing all the trials and tribulations that Donna was going through. So that's why I say, when you're going through your trials and tribulations, when you have your infirmities, hey, the only thing that I can tell you that I know for sure is that when you give it to him, you're going to make it. You're going to make it. You can't give him half and say, I keep the other half. You have to give him everything that is bothering you, everything that is down on the inside that you know that you should have let go a long time ago. Even if it means going to make amends with whoever, whatever that infirmity is that's keeping you stuck, keeping you from being able to be pushed forward into your purpose, then you need to do whatever you need to do. Don't matter what people think. The only thing that should matter to you is being healthy, happy, and whole. And people cannot make you happy, healthy, and whole. It can be superficial. You'll feel that way for a little bit, but deep down inside, you're going to be missing something. Something is still going to be missing. And then you can gain a more intimate knowledge of who he is. If you can just sit with him, tell him, talk to him like you talk to your homegirls, your homeboys, and say, listen, hey, something is going on with me, and I need you to show me me. If I'm the cause of any discord in my own life, show me, so I can start working on that with you, Lord. And that's why I ask you all the time, are you willing to get on his operating table and let him operate on you to see what you need to be removed from, or what needs to be removed from you? But you have to be willing to sit on his table, lay on his table, or lay before his feet and say, here I am, naked before you, Father. I want to be whole. I want to be happy. I want to be healthy. Show me me. But when you go to him naked and say, show me these things, you need to have your mind right, because he might show you some stuff you may not even like or didn't even know that was in you. You might not. You might. Who knows? But you have to go to him and say, you know what? You know I'm not perfect, but I need you to help me be a better person. I need you to help me love more. Teach me how to love. Teach me how to love me. Because sometimes we don't even know how to love ourselves, because we have allowed people to dictate to us how we love ourselves. And then the third one is believe God's word. Believe his word. Believe his word. Not some of it. Not the one that sounds so good to you that, oh yeah, this is going to fit me and no, believe everything in his word. You have to. The fourth one is cry out to God, because he alone must be the source of your strength. And like I said before, we can't make people the source of our strength, because we know they will fail you. They will leave you. They will walk out on you. And you'll be sitting and saying, how in the world did they do this to me? When they said they will be here for me, when they said that they will walk closely with me, when they say they had my back, when they say, oh, I'm just a phone call away. I'm just a text away. What happens when you call, they don't answer? What happens when you send that text and they don't answer? Then it's like your whole world is upside down because you made people and things the source of your strength instead of the Father. And the fifth thing is overcome evil with good. Because remember, people will treat us how we allow them to treat us. But when we set boundaries, then people will start respecting us. And then we will start respecting ourselves. Even if I'm going through a trial, I can still say I have boundaries because my Father is still working on me. He has me in a place that he needs to deal with Donna on this level. And don't find it strange if you find yourself being separated, or don't find it strange if you're not invited to all the happening things, because sometimes where you're going and the purpose that is on you, you may not be in the right atmosphere. Because when we want to be a part of all these things, then whatever is attached that we shouldn't have been there will attach itself to us. So you have to be careful where you go, who you hang around, what events you go to, because everything is not purpose for you. And if you're in tune with the Father, he'll say, no, don't go. Yeah, he'll give you the okay. Yeah, you can go there. This place is okay for you to be here. But we have to step back so we can hear him. We have to stop being so busy that we get caught up in our own world that we like, yep, hey, they're having this, I have to go. And then I'm going to give you the rewards of responding to grace, how you handle yourself. The first one is you will have the strength of godly character. And who wouldn't want to have a godly character? Because some of us, when we was out there, we was doing anything that we wanted to do. But when we became born again, now we can have the strength of godly character. The second reward in responding to grace is exceeding joy in God's glory. The third one, it says God's strength is our weakness. We should fellowship with Christ, heavenly rewards, and reigning with Christ. And when he gave it to me yesterday at work, I was just like, okay. But my heart is grieved because we are walking around dismissing people, not knowing what people may be going through or whatever the case may be. Because sometimes when we're in our own world, if you will, we forget that other people are hurting just as well. We're not the only one hurting. I'm not the only one that lost a loved one. Thank you, Mr. Anthony. I'm not the only one that lost a loved one. But people are hurting. Our children are hurting. Our friends may be hurting. Our family members may be hurting. Our co-workers may be hurting. But because we get so selfish and self-centered that we don't want to see, or we don't have time to worry about somebody else's hurt. But I'm here to tell you that if you love Christ, you won't be selfish. You will show that love and kindness. You will speak, and you never know, just by you saying good morning, how are you today? You look nice today. You don't know what that may do to someone that may want to check out. And people are checking out. They're checking out. And sometimes it's self-inflicted checking out. And you guys know what I'm talking about. But we have to get back to the root and say, if you need me, I'm going to be here. But if you can say that, you need to make sure in all your power that you can. Even if it's just a text and say, hey, haven't heard from you today, or haven't heard from you in 2 days, 3 days. Are you okay? Are you okay? Because I have to remind my own self of that myself. Sometimes I get busy with my own responsibilities, my own cares of the world, that I forget to reach out to people. But we have to do better. And stop making excuses. Well, I don't have time. They don't call me, I ain't gonna call them. How will we feel if that's the way Christ did us? How will we feel if we went to him and say, oh, well, Father, I need this, or I need that, I need whatever. And he'll be like, well, you hadn't reached out to me in prayer in 3 days. Hey, wouldn't that be ashamed? So we have to be purposeful not to do people like that. We can't do this tit for tat. You call me or I'll call you. If I don't call you in a week and you know me or you're my friend, you can't take that attitude, or I'm not going to say you can't. Some people do. But we shouldn't take that attitude. We should say, wow, is she okay? Are they okay? Because people, we get caught up in our own stuff. Sometimes our lives overtake us, and we do. We're all guilty of it. I'm guilty of it. But I want to be better. I'm trying to do better. And we just have to make that conscious effort. Just text and say, hey, don't want anything. Just want to say, hey, make sure you're okay. And that's all we have to do. But first we have to check self. Because when I do something, I want my Father to be pleased with it. Not just so I feel like I can check a box and get accolades and say, oh, she did this or she did that or whatever. I want whatever I do to be from my heart and my Father be pleased. Whether he blesses me with stuff, it doesn't matter. I just want his love and his grace and mercy and say, that's my daughter. She's going to love me whether I give her anything or not. And that's where I'm at in my life. If he doesn't bless me with any other material things, I still would serve him. I still would love him. I will not turn my back on him because he's been too good to me. When I wanted to give up on me, he said, I have purpose for you, daughter. And like I tell people that have been on my lives, there was things that I was doing, people that I shouldn't have been with. And when I decided that I was tired of being sick and tired and that I needed to cut these things loose and cut these people loose, that's when he showed himself mighty in my life. And when we can do that, that's when we know that the Father is with us. Don't get me wrong. Oh, those things, those people try to come back. And in your mind, you be like, oh, well, maybe, just maybe. But then when you think how good he's been to you, and you say, are you crazy? Have you lost your mind? That's when you know you're doing and going in the right direction. Because we're going to be tempted when God say, let things go. And if the thing was good, whatever it was, could have been a person, whatever, car, house, acceptance, whatever. But when you get a taste of what he is really and truly doing in your life, and then that thing present itself again, you'll be like, wait. But see, the thing about it is, when it comes back to you again, it looks even better. And see, and that's how the enemy try to trick us and be like, girl, boy, you know. And then that's when the Father say, And that's when you should say, well, yep, it does look good. Yes, it did taste good. But where I'm going right now, my body has no use for it anymore. And that will be when you know you're ready to be connected to the Father at all costs. And that's why we must surround ourselves with people that will push us in whatever direction God is pushing us to say, hey, you got it, girl. I see you, keep going. But we must let go of all of our infirmities. Give them to him. Pull them out. If you got to say, today, Lord, I'm going to give you this. Tomorrow, I'm going to give you that. Next week, I'm going to give you that. Give it to him. Because once you give all those things to him, you're going to feel so much better. You're going to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, man, you look good today. Girl, you look good today. Because, you know, our body start to look how we feel from the inside. And if we're broken and have all these infirmities, all of these unresolved issues, it would take a toll on your body physically. You start looking old. You start being like, whoa, wait. But when you give him everything, it's different. You have a different swag, if you will, if that's what y'all want to say. You just have it going on. And it's not being conceited. It's being confident in knowing who you are and whose you are. Because when you're at a place where you don't love yourself, that's a terrible place to be. Because I've been there. And it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. Because the weight of the world and all of our life challenges took a toll. But I know somebody that can turn it all around. He can restore you. He can rejuvenate you. He can replenish you. He can preserve you. But you must be willing to give it to him. All to him. Because when we can give it everything that we are, he's happy. And I'm telling you, my friend Robin's on here, Anthony's on here. I'm telling you. And I told some of you guys, before, if Donna would have stayed Donna during my late husband's sickness, I would be a total wreck. But one thing I'm going to tell you, going through that transition with him, the love that I felt for my father is far, I can't even describe it. All I know is that he kept me. Even when I had to cry, even when I cried in my car going to work, sometimes I cried coming home. But he kept me to the point that I was still able to have peace. I had peace. And when I laid in that bed with him for 3 days, knowing that at any time, any second, any minute, any hour, his number was going to be called. But I knew how my father had equipped me, his daughter. He had equipped me by preparing me over a year and some change. as I was getting ready to have a new title, if you will, of being a widow. But even in the midst of me laying there, knowing any day now, he's going to be called home. But he kept me. He kept my mind. I still had joy. Even through the pain, I still had joy. Because I knew that what he has purposed me and what he was purposing me for, he had to build me for me to get to this point. He had to build me to get me to them 3 days to lay in that bed physically with someone that I spent 30 years with, through the good, the bad, and the ugly. But he kept me and he prepared me. So what I'm telling you is, it doesn't matter what your infirmities are, because he can do it if you want him to. If you want him to help you with those issues. And as I lay there the last night, and when God called him home, when I tell you that this man fought because he didn't want to leave. But when you know who you are and you're grounded and rooted in who you are, I had the strength to say, I'm good. Go. Go get your wings. Because see, had he not prepared me, could have been another way. I could have lost my mind. So what I'm telling you is, even in death, if you stay connected to the Father, even through losing everything, even when you're just not even sure who you are, but if you stay connected to the Father, he will see you through. He will give you joy. He will give you peace. And he will guide you to whatever place you need to be. And that's what he did for me. He guided me to a place where I needed to be, not no one else, me. But he prepared me because I said, I am going to serve him. Even though I knew my late husband was dying, I still told the Lord, I will serve you. I will not turn my back on you. And here I am today, almost 2 years into losing a spouse. But the beauty of it is, guys, and I'm going to tell you, is when you know that God has kept you for his purpose, not my purpose. Because like I said, if I had it my way, I'd probably be like, nope, can't do it. Don't want any part of it. But when you're faced with death or other life-changing situation, when you're connected to the Father, not up here, but here, he will keep you. He will keep you. And I'm telling you guys, this is something I'm telling you. So don't quit in your fight. Don't quit in your fight. Don't quit in your struggle. Don't quit in the process. In the process is where he's going to make you whole. He will make you whole like never before. When you're looking at me and I'm doing these lives week after week after week, God has made me whole. Even in losing a spouse, he has made me whole because I chose to say, you know what? I know he's going to die. I know you're taking him. But I'm going to still serve you. I'm going to still serve you. And I did. And I am. But he prepared me. And whatever you're going through, whatever you're facing, he will prepare you. Whether it's this small or this big. He doesn't care how big or small it is. Whatever you're going through, he will prepare you if you want him to. If you want him to. Because there are days, sometimes I don't even know how Donna make it. But I do know that there's a God that I said I was going to serve to the day I get up out of here. Even in death. So you see, for me, my strength and my purpose came knowing that, hey, he's going to be gone. But I got you. I got you, my child. You're going to be amazing. You're going to be walking into your purpose because I am preparing you for such a time as this. And mine just happened to be death. Yours may not be death. Yours may be something else. But he prepared me. And how he got me ready was the separation. Because I had to depend on him. I had to depend on him. Because mama couldn't get me where I am today. Friends couldn't get me where I'm at today. Because like I said, when they walk away, what do you have? But I'm telling you guys, whatever your situation, don't quit. Don't quit. Keep pressing. Just keep pressing. He'll come see about you if you want him to. If you want him to. Because what he has for you is better than anything in this world. And like I said, I have lost some stuff. I have been through hell and high water, but I thank God that I didn't quit. I thank God that he prepared my mind. I thank God that he just kept me close to him. And I talk to my friends, but I'm telling you guys, I am a living witness that whatever we lose, whether stuff, loved ones, whatever it is, he will replace it. He may not replace, he's not going to replace JT, but he replaced the love in my heart. So I won't be bitter, so I won't be angry. And that's what he did. And he can do it for you. It just may look different. It may look different. But today, give everything that you have in here to him. He'll see about you. He won't let you down. He won't. People let you down, but he won't. I'm telling you, he will not let you down. I know. I'm a living witness. I know. I knew before, but like I said, through my late husband's death, that's when I became stronger in my faith, stronger in my walk. I don't doubt him. I don't doubt him because I trust him with everything that I am. Because I know no one could have done all the things that he's done for me in these last 2 years. But first, keeping my mind. Your friends, co-workers, your job can't help you keep your mind. But your Father can. So today, I ask you, whatever you're going through, give it to him. Give it all to him. Put it on a silver platter and say, here you are, Lord. All of my hurts, my disappointments, all of the unforgiveness that I have, all the jealousy that I may have, I'm giving it all to you. And when you give it to him, don't take it back. Don't take it back. Lay it before him and say, here, I relinquish all this to you because it's too big for me. It's weighing me down. I'm drowning. I'm drowning. You see, if you know when you're swimming and you don't have a life jacket on and you go too far into the deep, there's a possibility that you could drown. So when your trials and your tribulations and your infirmities get too big, hey, you better get that life jacket on if you ain't giving it to him. Because sooner or later you're going to drown in it. And then you're going to have to be reaching up and say, hey, Lord, I can't swim. I need you to help me. So today, if there's anything that you need to give to him, give it to him. Don't be afraid to give it to him. Don't feel like you're a failure because you couldn't handle it. It's not our job to handle these things. Why do you think we have a Father that loves us so much? So whatever you're going through, give it to him today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Don't think about, oh, well, maybe should I? Give it all. Everything that you are, give it to him. And I promise he will see about you. If he did it for me, he can do it for you. He has no respect of person, none whatsoever. Guys, I'm telling you, having a Father that loves us more than anything in this world, who wouldn't want to serve him? Why wouldn't you want to give it to him? And the thing about it, you give it to him and he ain't judging you. That's the beauty of it. He's not judging you. Because we can tell people, oh, well, I've been through this, and well, you shouldn't, they start judging. But our Father won't. He'll just say, okay, I got you. I got you, my daughter. I got you, my son. So give it to him today. Because as you know, the next hour, the next couple of minutes is not promised to us. I'm so thankful that you guys came on tonight. When he gave me this to share with you, I'm just being obedient. Because I appreciate each and every one of you that's on this live tonight. Trust the process, guys. Everyone that's on here, trust the process. No matter what it looks like, trust him. Trust the process. Trust the plan that he has for your life. Don't be afraid to say you're weak in this area. You need a little help in this area. Don't be afraid because he knows he's just waiting for you to come and say, hey, I need your help, Lord. But he's waiting. He's waiting for you. And once you call him, he'll come see about you. He'll come. But I love each and every one of you, and I pray that you have an amazing night and an amazing rest of the week. I hope you guys had a chance to see my lineup for this month. Guys, I am so super excited about what God is doing with Hot Topics with Donna. You just have to make sure you come on starting next week, starting Sunday. I'm going to have some more amazing guests. 2021 was a blessing and amazing. 2022, I am looking for even bigger and better things for Hot Topics with Donna. Guys, you just keep tuning in. Share my flyers. I ask all of you to go to my YouTube page and share it and subscribe. I have started uploading my past guests from 2021, some for 2022, but please, I would greatly appreciate it if you would go subscribe to my Donna Taylor page. And if you need me, I will put the link on my page. And just go share. Have your friends share, family share, so I can start just doing my thing on YouTube as well. But I already uploaded some videos, so you can go see past guests that you may have missed. But I'm so thankful for the hearts. Thank you, Pam. Jackie, thank you, cuz I love you. Shirley, thank you for tuning in. Robin, thank you. I love you. Thank you all that have been on here. And I'm just thankful. I am just so thankful. I am. I just don't even know what to say. God has truly been good to Donna Taylor. He truly has been good to me. And I don't take it lightly. And I thank all my friends that have been supportive of me through this new journey that I'm on, because it's truly a journey. It's truly a journey. Learning how to just be me. And when I say be me, it's just being me without another half. But it's all good and it's good. But you have to learn to walk in your own truth. Whatever that truth is, you have to learn to walk in your own truth. And you know what, guys? I'm walking truly in my own truth. And I know that my late husband, JT, will be so proud of me walking into my own truth, because he was truly my supporter of everything that I've done in the past, and even now. I know he's smiling down and say, she's doing her thing, and for that I'm grateful. So until Sunday, unless I pop up between now and Sunday. But until then, guys, thank you, thank you, thank you. And as always, if you have a story or someone have a story that they want to share with my viewers, please just inbox me. Um, Oh, thanks, Pam. Because here on Hot Topics, we interview ordinary people doing extraordinary things in their lives and in their community. And we just have to make sure we love each other in whatever area of their life that they may be in, whatever life challenges that we may have been through. Because just like me, I have not been exempt from life challenges. But one thing I can tell you, even through my life challenges, I have bounce back, not because I'm that great, it's because of my father and who he is. So that's the only reason why I can do this week after week. That's the only reason why I am still happy, still have joy and peace after almost 2 years of losing a spouse. So it's not because I'm just all that. No, I cannot take the credit for that. If it was not for my father, I am nothing, would still probably be cray cray if I didn't trust the plan that he has for my life. And so for that, I'm grateful, because I give him total control of my life. And with that being said, guys, trust the process. Whatever infirmities that you may have, whatever trials and tribulations that you may be going through right now as we speak, give it to him. It doesn't matter what you've done. Don't be ashamed of what you've done, because I know people can make you feel shame of what you've done, because I've been in that place that people try to shun you or make you feel shame for what you may have done. But that's okay, because you know what? My father loves me even the more. Even when I was in my mess. And even when I mess up now, he still loves me. So at the end of the day, that's all that should matters. So get on his operating table and let him operate on you. And you will come out better than you went in. And he knows the ins and the outs. Deep crevices that we don't want people to know. He knows. But get on his table so he can make you whole. So he can make you healthy. So he can make you happy. And I love you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see you on Sunday, if the Lord's will, with my first guest of February. So February is going to be hot. It's going to be hot. So you guys better tune in. And so with that, I love you guys. And you guys have a great night. Good night. Bye.